Some developers, they use coding agents like this. They will say, build me a complete e-commerce website. No business rules, no folder structure, no database rules, no database recommendation, no authentication requirements, no explanation at all. Then the AI go generate 63 files. If you even install 29 packages, if you even create one architecture will be like international airport. You run the application, nothing works. Then you begin to insult AI, say this AI agent don't know anything. Guy, you give contractor, say make it go build house. You not give am land. You not give am building plan. You not give am budget or number of rooms. Now you don't go build duplex inside cemetery for you, they complain. No, the guy is correct. Very correct. Coding agents are powerful, but they read your mind. If your instruction is vague, the coding agent go fill the missing gaps with assumptions. And AI assumption, if you don't get experience, you know say if you wear suit, it go destroy your whole thing. With full confidence. Today, let's talk about how developers should instruct coding agents properly. Now, me, Amos Pikins, the tech prophet. Oh, yeah, they with me. First of all, stop treating prompts like WhatsApp messages. We need to carry all of our country in lock inside one cage. They say, prompt is not WhatsApp messages. Prompt is not WhatsApp messages. We take recalibrate in our brain first. When you give coding agent tasks, you are not merely just asking a question. You actually just write a miniature technical specification. Bad prompt go be like add authentication. Might give you an example of good instructions. See this prompt. Add email and password authentication to this Laravel application. Use the existing user model. Perform the current admin login. And separate learner and mentor redirect. Protect their routes with middleware. And write tests for successful login. Invalid credentials and unauthorized dashboard access. You see the difference, Abi? The second one, they tell the agent waiting to build. Where to build it? Waiting already they exist. What must not break? See, number 4. And then, best one, how success will be verified. To me, that is engineering. If you mean another thing to you, but to me, that's engineering. Coding agent need to they understand the environment, give it context. Which language? Which framework? In fact, which version, which database? You need to be as detailed as that. Walai. See something like this. This is a PHP 8.3 project using my Mueller framework. Controllers live inside app/http/controllers. Business logic belongs in services. Database access goes through repository contracts and PDO implementation. Do not introduce Laravel conventions or external ORM packages. This is what I used just recently when I was building a blog without my framework to just test before I proceed. See, without this content, so agent fee enter that my custom PHP framework. So I'm beginning to build Laravel services like tourists we don't lose. You see, AI doesn't know your house rules unless you state it to do it, or you give them files to inspect. Then do not combine one like 200 features or 10 features inside one large prompt. You need to define one clear outcomes. You need to get sense for that one. Because except from women, even you will be man, you sabi multitask. You go, they say add authentication, notification, report, payment, dark mode, even Docker and deployment. You even constantly add, make the landing page beautiful. Because we need to ask whether our prompt be this one so, on a national development plan. So you need to break work into focused tasks. So one prompt supposed to get one main outcome. For example, implement payment creation. To me, this one's still too vague. Yes. Then another one, add duplicate payment detection or protection. Then add payment confirmation emails. You see, because smaller tasks, they easier to inspect text and correct. Walai. When one giant prompt fail like this, you not gonna know which part go carry village people can enter the feature. Developers, they always remember to explain technical feature, but they forget business logic. You say build installment payment, for example. But what does installment mean? Can users pay any amount? Is there a minimum deposit? Can payment exceed balance? Can admin record cash payments? See, these rules what they talk, they important pass the controller name. Yes, because AI can actually generate clean code around a wrong assumption. Write that down. So before you prompt that agent, so they ask yourself like this: what must always be true? Now your invariance be that. Tell the agent. Tell them clearly. Also, learn to dey give boundaries. A proper coding prompt must always tell the agent what it must not do. For example, do not change existing route or do not rename public classes. See, restriction go help your agent to no be say go create one solution, they go come cause 3 more problems. You go restrict them properly. Also, point to the relevant files. Instead of saying you go say fixed payment system, no. You tell them say may inspect payment controller or maybe payment service or payment repository. You go even fit tell them make it include the payment migration before he make changes. It helps it in context. You go understand more. Tell the agent where the behavior begin. Tell them which files they relevant. Agents, they perform better when they fit study the code base first. So include something like this. Make I read them for you. First, inspect the current implementation and summarize the existing flow. Then identify the smallest safe change. After that, implement it. You see, this one go stop the agent from entering your code base with one big machine, bulldozer. Before you go come check, ordinary screwdriver fit fix the problem. You see, then another sweet thing is, most of you don't do this one. Ask for a plan before implementation, so that you can see what he plans to do, how he plans to implement those things. Tell him like this: do not modify files yet. Very important. I do this one a lot. No modifying yet first. I learned this one from ChatGPT. That's the funny thing. First, explain your understanding of the requirement. List the files likely to change. Identify risk and propose an implementation plan. The right time. Then you go review the plan. If it's sharp, you can now tell it to implement it. This thing is important, especially if the implementation they touch authentication, authorization, payment. You know those serious things. You no go want to make AI they discover architectural consequences or after it don't scatter like 13 files. Now shege be that oh. Shege banza. So measure twice, generate once. Now the next one, you need to define the acceptance criteria. How you go take no say the task don't complete. No be say you go the right tell and say make sure it works. They play, they whine. You need to talk something like this. The task is complete when so has happened and so is in place and blah blah blah. Also check this, check that. When all these are met, then you are completed. You know, something like that. Also, tell the agent to verify its own work. No go the trust generated code though, because it clean for you. I always clean for you. I know be here right now. You know when they pull the knowledge from. You don't write code, you read there before. Ask the agent to run tests, static analysis, run formatter, validate migration, many things like that. Tell it to also review change files and even explain any test it could not run. Yes. Maybe I say I go buy my book or that AI security. This is, and I know by some people can't quarrel me. No, voila. We listen, we don't judge. After all this one, notice say because I say make sure say Baba, you also inspect them by yourself. What I talk? Inspect them by yourself. But because most of you don't know code, just say AI will be somebody. Some people will write, why will I learn coding when AI can? Continue. No, voila. Continue. We'll see back in a few years. Don't worry. You should be wise. So always use coding agent as your assistant, not your replacement. There's a law I used to say, make sure your AI writes the first review, the first idea. Let it cook the idea. Then you look at it, implement it properly with it and go on. So make I give you strong prompt structure. I write them down. I read them for you. Number 1, context. Number 2, current behavior. 3, desired output. 4, the business rule. They write down. 5, constraints. 6, acceptance criteria. Oh, yeah, no verse. I call you, Momo. Don't cry. Sorry. Sorry. 6, acceptance criteria. 7, verification. I'll give you an example for this one. I'll read them out for you. He say you need to tell them which test and check the agent should verify. See this kind of thing. For example, you are working on a Flutter payment tracking app with a Mueller PHP backend. Payments currently support only full payment. Add installment payments without changing existing authentication. That's one. A payment must belong to a customer and service. The amount must be greater than 0 and cannot exist the existing balance. Duplicate reference must be rejected. When the balance reaches 0, mark the invoice as paid. Keep the controller's thing. Put business rules in payment service and database access inside the payment repository. Do not install new packages. Shotigba, you start with the arranger now. Add test for partial payment, final payment, overpayment, and duplicate references. Run the full test suite and summarize every changed file. This prompt I just read for you now, no magic inside though. Notice that when it shades the inside. Now simple engineering clarity na in the inside. Because you know say AI no go fit come the rescue your confused thinking. It will make it worse. It go enlarge am. It go grow am well. So prompt engineering no be about writing some kind dramatic instructions to AI. No. Your AI coding agent is only as useful as the clarity of the engineer. That's why I always say that your AI is as smart as you are. If you're not smart, your AI no go smart. Anyways, I don't try. Bye.